Hello and welcome to today's Miniature Monday video. Now there isn't an unboxing today because I forgot to pre-order the Chaplain and Apothecary models, and I'm still waiting for an unboxing video of the Primaris Repulsor just to see about the missile pods, because I really don't like how busy the model looks. If they're optional, I'll pick one up and it'll be in a future video. Now, today instead I'm doing something a little bit different, which you can probably guess from the title, is a hobby discussion. Now, it'll be intermittently between release schedules, etc., where we discuss things that are going on in the hobby. If this is the kind of thing you like once you've watched the video, please leave a like and a comment saying you'd like more, because that would encourage me to make more. And it could potentially become a Wednesday feature, being as I currently don't have any videos regularly being released there. So this one is focusing not on Ahriman nor the Horus Heresy boxes. As you can guess from the title, it's about the difference between mono and multi-pose kits. Now, recently I read an article online and it stuck in my head, and I've wanted to make a video about it since I have. And it's just been niggling and niggling at the back of my mind, so I thought I'd make it. Being as today I've really got nothing else to put out. So it's a bit of a stab in the dark, like I said. If it's something you want to see again, just let me know. So, the pros and cons with multi and mono pose kits, as well as the options. Now, for a long time, as we can see with this Ahriman sculpt, Games Workshop has done a special characters are a mono pose plastic clam pack, or in the case of Ahriman and his Space Wolf counterpart, whose name escapes me right now. They're released in boxes, but they're always been mono-posed. They're single-posed characters with no options, because they're named characters, they don't have any options. Recently, Games Workshop has also started releasing generic characters of the same type, not having any options, and then mono-pose. Take, for example, the plastic Captain model, not the Primaris or the Gravis one, but the Primaris and Gravis ones are also great examples of this. But I'm talking about the old Space Marine one, but not quite as old as the amazing multi-part, multi-pose kit they had. But recently, we also have some amazing characters being released in boxes. And some of these things you just can't do with multi-pose kits, the billowing smoke, etc. That's one of those things that it's really hard to, fit into the kind of things you need for a multi-part kit and multi-pose. Like, potentially for this one you could have had different arm options, like a power fist and a combi bolter pointed off there, but it's still largely the same pose and model. Now, recently in boxes and stuff, as well as the Primaris... wrong word, because their multi-part kit hasn't been released. But in the boxes, etc., Games Workshop has been doing the same with generic troops. Now, I won't deny that these models look visually amazing, and they're far above anything currently released in the Death Guard range. These models are some of my favourite Chaos models of all time. But they do lack the flexibility of the multi-part kit. Yes, these models are much simpler, but you get the options. You had the option with him to put a plasma pistol instead, a bolt pistol instead. Bolt pistol instead of this guy's bolter. Gripping the bolter. You have different poses available. You can snip the legs, and it's easier to do it on a multi-pose, multi-part kit than a single one. So what are the benefits to both of them? Like I said, with the multi-part and multi-pose kits, they have the flexibility. You can do different things with them. You've got the option choices. You can run them to fill out the squads if you want to buy 10 tactical marines to put into different squads, or to proxy in your Horus Heresy games. You can, because of the bolt guns. But they also come with most of their special weapons and a handful of heavy weapon options, and that allows you to mix and match kits to get the weapons you want. For example, you can buy a Devastator box, put the spare las cannon onto a tactical marine and put a las cannon in the squad. But a monopose kit that has the option for details like the billowing smoke, the rushing bells, you can't really put that on a multi-pose, multi-part kit because they've got to fit the dynamic and the motion of the model. Even the swinging ammo feed from bolt gun just wouldn't work on a model such as this, because you could have had the option to put his arm flat, and then that just doesn't work. Yes, you can snip it off, and it's probably not the best example I could have had, but it's there, as well as with the Cataphracti Terminator Lord. The fact that it's got all this billowing smoke and detail and the dripping guts, etc., it's not really something you can do with a multi-part kit. I do personally believe named characters should remain as a monopose kit. The Araman sculpt, again, it's one of my favourite sculpts they've ever released. I really should get around to painting that. But it's... but that's because they're named characters. You're only going to have one in your force. Now, with the Death Guard miniatures in the Dark Imperium box, they're all unique and they all look different, and that's a small blessing. But if you were to buy 2 of them, you've got 2 identical squads. Yes, the Primaris Squad A will also be identical. Primaris Squad B has some slight customizability options with the tilting of heads, but you're going to end up duplicates. Even your generic characters in this edition, where it's definitely pushing for you to include more characters due to the additional HQ slots, you're going to end up getting duplicates. The Primaris Captain that was recently released, for example, it's only got a limited number of poses due to how it's sculpted. And that can be a problem for people who don't like to see duplicates in their force, especially guys who are supposed to be heroes. Now, I can kind of understand it amongst grunts, but at the same time, I like to see squads that look unique, and that's why I hope they never go to a monopose system for your basic troop choices. Now, for the generic characters, I do have something to say for it, and that would be kits such as the Redemptor Dreadnought, which is one of my favourite in the new releases. Now, I know it's something they also did for the Riptide and I believe the Wraith Knight, where the kit is designed to be put together in a monopose fashion, but the pegs and clips and stuff can be snipped and posed. I've seen amazing poses of Redemptor Dreadnought with an onslaught Gatling cannon outstretched, the fist closed, the legs mid-stride, legs akimbo, legs kneeling. And that's just due to the fact of how the peg system works. And this is something I'd like to see on generic characters, similar to how they had with the Inceptors with a star slot on the arms, you can pose it. Or even just, say, with this guy, you put the Scythe as a separate arm option and you just give him Power Fist and the Combi Bolter, just to make it a little bit more unique, or even just have the head be posable like they've done on the Primaris Marines. Now, I'll get that it's not a catch-all system. Some people don't care, full stop. I know a lot of people don't. It's not a deal breaker for me. I'll still buy miniatures, obviously. In fact, I play Infinity as well. which, if any of you know, all the poses are monopose there. They're designed to be put together one way, and due to the fact they're metal, there's very little customizability or conversion opportunity there. But yeah, monopose versus multipose. They've both got their benefits. Multipose is flexible. Monopose, you can get more detail in due to the fact of the model's only going to be built one way. So there's pros and cons to both. The monopose obviously is less detail. The multipose being there's less detail. Monopose being you're going to end up with duplicates eventually. Personally, I like the idea of a peg system on generic characters and keeping grunts as multipose kits and multi-part kits especially. But that's just my thoughts. What about you guys? What do you think? Is it a non-issue completely and I've made a deal out of something that shouldn't be made a deal out of? Is it something you're like me and you don't mind characters being a monopose sculpt and troops being multipose? Would you like it the different way where you'd like captains and things represented with all options, with the basic squads being basically monopose just so they fit together quicker and easier with less fiddling? All in all, let me know what you think below in the comments. Leave a like if you've liked the video and subscribe to be notified of more content. If you want more hobby discussions, more focused, leave comments below saying if you'd like to see it, topics you'd like to cover, etc. But that has been That Welsh Nerd. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.